Hey, this is Alja from the Cracked Ass Pasta Podcast, back with another MOTU Monday video here on YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at Roboto. That's right, it's the mini comic version of Roboto. I got this for Christmas, and I'll tell you about some other things wrong with this package in just a second. Be right back. Alright, I'm back, and we got the figure off of the card. Let's take a look at the card first. But before we do, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know when a video like this comes out, which will be on a Monday for MOTU Monday here on YouTube. Be sure to go to our website, www.crackedasspasta.com. Website's the place to go for all the things you need to know, like links to our social media, our podcast, which comes out every other Tuesday. Download wherever you listen to podcasts. Our sponsor, Toy Hacks, at toyhacks.com. For all your repro label needs, go to toyhacks.com. We have a caption contest that we run every month, and you could win a $5 coupon to Toy Hacks if you comment on the picture or draw something, and we pick you, then you win the $5 to toyhacks.com. And we also have Amazon wish lists on our webpage. If you felt so generous as to get us something, then we would do a video like this, give you a shout out, say thank you, and show everyone what you got us, and say how awesome you are, because that would be awesome. Of course, no pressure to do that, but if you wanted to, we would love it. Of course, there's bios, merch, and much more, and all those things can be found at www.cracktasticplastic.com. Alright, let's take a look at the card. I got this for Christmas, and it was purchased from Amazon, and Amazon did their bang-up job of shipping it. So much so that it was missing the mini-comic inside because the bottom was cracked open, and for whatever reason, either the seller took it or it got lost in transit. Not really sure what happened with that. Of course, the card is all beat up as well because that's Amazon for you. Roboto is the heroic mechanical warrior. This is the second version of Roboto that we have. The first one was kind of the normal toy version that we got in the 80s, just basically a repro of that. And then this is a recolor of it as a mini comic version that you saw in the mini comics, obviously. So yes, Roboto may have strength of steel, but his cybernetically enhanced heart that makes him it's his cybernetically enhanced heart that makes him one of Eternia's bravest, and that is very much true. This is part of the Rise of the Snake Men line. Of course, we already opened Hypno a few weeks back, and I did Snake Armor Skeletor last year. So this will be the third one in this cross-sell. The only one I believe I don't have is Tongue Lashor. I'm pretty sure I don't have him. He might be on my Amazon wish list. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Of course, he comes with 3 interchangeable weapons, just like he did in the 80s. And you can twist his waist, and the gears turn. Once again, like the vintage one. So we'll chuck that card over there and take a look at the actual figure. Here he is. So yes, he is very much a different color than he was from the first version. Pretty much all the same parts, though. They did give him a little heart. If you remember, the 80s version of him had the heart inside, which I always thought was cool. It's one of my favorite toys as a kid, mainly because of the gears could, actually turn, and his mouth could open, and but the heart was actually inside. Of course, in the comic, I believe the heart is on the outside. That's why they did that. As you can see, there's no heart on the inside there. They did, of course, give him his axe, but I always like to have him with his little pincher arms, robot arm, which is this guy. That's usually one I like to have him with. Of course, he also does come with his double laser gun right there. Pew, 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 pew. But I prefer to have his little robot hand attached, just like that. Of course, he does have all of the articulation that all MOTU Origins figures have. And of course, as you know, you look at the legs, those are kind of trap jaw legs. And they did give him kind of mechanical looking pieces on his arms as well. Like I said, when you twist him, he does, his gears turn and his mouth opens and everything, which I think is very cool. So if you compare that to the first run of Roboto, the first version of him, here he is, much like he looked like in the 80s. Oops. And his gears don't work as well as this guy. This guy really works. That's how they should work. He kind of works. Of course, then you have the 80s version here, and his gears still work very well. Just like that. And if you can kind of see, right, that red part right there, that's his heart right there in the center. You can kind of see it. It's right in there. So I always thought that was cool. Like you can kind of see his little heart in there. And of course, there's more gears in the vintage one, front and back. These they basically left it open. You know, they didn't add the extra gears. Even on the first version of it, the back is all empty. They did change the color of some of the parts as well, looks like. But otherwise, it's basically a recolor of the same figure. I did notice that his visor or mouth is like a little pointier than this is the vintage one, than the vintage. It's got that kind of pointing it out right there, pointier bill or something, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's still an awesome figure. Still a very cool version. We get an alternate version of Roboto as a mini comic. I believe they also did a mini comic Trapjaw and a mini comic Triclops and a mini comic Man-E-Faces as well. If you have those, comment below how do they look? Are they better than the other versions? Are they worse? You know, for me, Roboto was always a favorite. I don't know. I think just having that mechanism inside of him move around was a very cool feature. And the story of him as well in the filmation was very cool. To see him become human, I guess, as much as he could. Even in Revelation, and he was an integral part of the story as well. So glad to have him in the collection, and it's a unique version of him, just a different version, just a newer, I don't know, just a different version. It's different, and it's kind of a nice addition to to everything else. So there he is right there. That's a mini comic Roboto from Masters Universe Origins from Mattel. Check it out. Like I said, this wave was way back. I don't even know what wave anymore. There's so many waves. Of course, if you know what wave this is, comment below, and I might write it in the comments in the description later if I figure out what wave this is. But it's very cool to have him as well. And I love that his gears work a lot better than the other one, so that's always good. So this has been Roboto saying, see you later. And I've been saying ciao for now.